Hello and welcome to your Club Everton Daily. The date is Monday, the 6th of February 2012. And before I get underway, big thanks to anyone who's leaving me Blue Monday mentions this week on Twitter. And any week on Twitter, actually. Big thanks. Got 400 plus followers now on the back of that, so cheers. Another thing mentioned on Twitter, we'll just make another push for the Falletonians and their quest for a Shorty Award. You've currently, well, as of the last time I checked, which was actually late last night to be fair, they had 7 nominations, which put them in something like 31st place. They literally only need about 150 odd votes to get to the top in the first page of the nominees, and that'll take them above the red shite as well. So if that's not motivation to get voting for them, I don't know what is. That said, the shite have disappeared off the oh wait, no they haven't. There they are. They're in 7th place with 157, Liverpool. As for the Falletonians, I'm going to go looking for them now. Oh, they've moved up away from 4th place anyway. Wow, they're onto the 2nd page by the looks of things. There they are. They are 31st with 7 votes. So big thanks for those who have voted for them. They are as follows: Jack, Dan, John Hill, Dom, myself, the Falletonians themselves, and Ped McPartland. They need more votes. Come on, we gotta get them above Liverpool. Go to the Shorty Awards link that's going to be in the description for this video or this podcast if you're on iTunes. Nominate @Falletonians, mention Shorty Award, and use the hashtag soccer. Alright, so now that's out the way, here's what's coming up. We're going to round up the news. Roundtable discussion topic, the roundtable discussion topic that will never die. More news on the England captaincy. Fabio Capello may have breached contract by criticising the FA. We're going to have a look at that. We're also going to have a look at the gossip column. And our article of interest for today's daily is Fox TV's moronic coverage of the Premier League. Alright, so that's what's coming up. Let's get down to it, and we'll start with the news. The first one, John Terry is going to miss the match on Saturday. In what is becoming something of a rarity, we're actually playing a match on Saturday at 3 o'clock. Chelsea's official Twitter reports that Frank Lampard and John Obi Mikel have a chance of being fit for the Everton match, but John Terry and Ramirez are both going to miss it. They both have knee injuries, and it was hoped that he might just be able to make it in time, but sadly that's not going to be the case. Well, sadly for them. Frankly, regardless of what you say about John Terry, he is still a very good defender, and him being missing is obviously going to be a bonus for us. Alright, so moving straight along. Kiki Jelovic has feared that Rangers and Celtic will become second-class clubs if they remain in Scottish football. He said Rangers and Celtic can't compete with English clubs financially, so it would be very important for them if they can join the Premier League one day. We're talking about 2 big clubs, and it's important for both of them that they're able to generate more money. This isn't just about it being good for Rangers and Celtic. It'd also be good for the Premier League. There are 2 clubs that have fans all over the world, so it'd be good for both sides. Will it happen? Probably not, but this is my opinion. That was from the Sunday Mirror yesterday. They also reported, of course, the Stephen Pienaar story about Luka Modric that we mentioned in yesterday's gossip column, so I'm not going to go into that much further. So yeah, very brief news segment today, but hey, it is Monday. Still quite a while away from the match, there's not much to talk about. Alright, so that's it for the news. Roundtable discussion topic now. Fabio Capello may have breached his contract with the FA. England boss Fabio Capello may have breached his contract by publicly criticising the FA's decision to oust John Terry as captain. Former FA Executive Director David Davies told the BBC that the FA was taking the matter very seriously. Terry was stripped of the armband pending his trial in July over alleged racist abuse of QPR's Anton Ferdinand. On Sunday, Capello spoke to Italy's state broadcaster RAI that he absolutely did not agree with the decision. Capello, whose first game in charge was on the 6th of February 2008 against Switzerland, is set to meet David Bernstein, the FA chairman, this week. Davies, who left the FA a year and a half before Capello was hired, Said there's a strong leadership now at the FA from Chairman David Bernstein. Last week he wasn't slow to take things forward, and he may not be slow to do so now. On the weekend, Capello said he did not believe someone should be punished by his supporting authorities before a court had reached a verdict. 65-year-old said, I thought it was the right thing that Teddy should keep the captain's armband. I've spoken to the FA chairman, and I've said, in my opinion, one cannot be punished until it's official, and the court, a non-sport court, a civil court, has made the decision to decide if John Teddy has done what he's been accused of. Davies told the BBC that the former Real Madrid and AC Milan manager's outspoken actions have frustrated his employer. He said, my understanding, and I've talked to one or two very senior people in the FA in the past 24 hours, yes indeed, is that this matter with Capello is regarded very seriously. He told 5 Live, he may well have breached his contract. There's a collective responsibility, and there's a view that publicly this sort of matter shouldn't be aired in this sort of way. It'll be for others to know the fine print of Capello's contract. I suspect people will be looking at it. Mark Palios, the former FA chief executive, believes that the FA have caused disunity in the England camp by opting to remove Teddy as skipper. He told 5 Live, the timing isn't of nobody's choosing. I'm not an apologist for the FA. The difficulty is that Capello has chosen a fairly public way. He's done it in Italy knowing it will come back to hit this country. I've heard people talk about it being potentially a breach of his contract. I would think that the FA will do nothing on that because we're close to a tournament. We don't want to have a real fight with the manager. The decision they took certainly doesn't make things easy for Capello in the dressing room because there's potentially a split in the dressing room now. Stand back and look at it. Any decision you make, how will that play out in the dressing room? Alright, so once again, the topic of discussion is going to be John Teddy and Fabio Capello in the England captaincy. And yet again, I doubt many people listening to this are going to give 2 fucks about the FA or the England national team anyway, but there you go. Gossip column. Again, the source and the story. The Metro reports that Carlos Tevez was urged to return to Boca Juniors by fans as he made a public appearance at Martin Palmeiro's farewell match in Buenos Aires, although the 28-year-old did not feature in the match. Goal reports that Arsene Wenger is not ruling out extending the temporary stay of New York Red Bull striker Thierry Henry at the Emirates. The Metro reports that Borussia Dortmund's Serbian centre-back Neven Subotic, I've said that completely wrong, I'm guessing, is set to be the subject of a £16.5 million bid from Man United in the summer transfer window. The Mirror reports that Owen Coyle is set to launch a mini clear out of the Reebok with defender Paul Robinson, midfielders Sean Davies and strikers Robbie Blake and Michael O'Halloran available to Football League clubs on loan. The Racist reports that Cristiano Ronaldo is considering a return to the Premier League after growing disillusioned with life at Real Madrid. The Star reports that Roy Keane is ready to return to management, with Championship strugglers Millwall favourites to move for the Man United legend. The Mirror reports that Roberto Mancini fears he could lose Colo Torre this month after an approach from Russian side Anzi Makakala for the defender. That club, I swear to God. Daily Racist reports that Roma's Italy international midfielder Daniele De Rossi has ignored interest from Man United and Chelsea and signed a new 5-year contract extension. In other gossip, the Racist reports that Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger could be tempted with an offer to become the next France manager this summer, with Laurent Blanc set to leave after Euro 2012. The Racist also reports, not the Mirror, that Andre Villas-Boas is fighting to convince Roman Abramovich he's still the man for the Chelsea job after showdown talks between the pair at their Cobham training ground. The Guardian reports that Nigel Doherty, Nottingham Forest owner who was found dead at his home on Saturday, made provision to ensure that the club's debts are met for the next 2.5 years when he decided to step down as chairman in October 2011. The Telegraph reports that West Brom manager Roy Hodgson's job could be in jeopardy if his side lose to the Black County rivals Wolves at Molineux next Sunday, a year after he took over the job from Roberto Di Matteo. The Mirror reports that Pepe Reina has revealed that Tottenham's 40-year-old Brad Friedel is his inspiration. Okay. The Mirror reports that Harry Redknapp is planning to make a quick dash from London to Liverpool by plane on Monday night after it was confirmed that his trial for alleged tax evasion will run into next week. Mirror reports that Roy Keane and Patrick Vieira renewed their rivalry at a school's charity auction when the pair repeatedly traded bids on a meal for 10 at a Chinese restaurant, with the former United skipper finally winning with a £2,000 offer. Inside Football reports that Nicolas Anelka has revealed he turned down Paris Saint-Germain in favour of joining Chinese Super League side Shanghai Shenhua. Inside Football also reports that Raul Albiol from Real Madrid is a potential summer target for Man City. And finally, and there's only one, it's from Gazzetta dello Sport. Mario Balotelli thinks he can win the Ballon d'Or for FIFA's best player in the world, but only if Lionel Messi suffers a dip in form. Yeah. I can win the Ballon d'Or if every professional player in the world dies. Alright, well, that's it for the gossip column. So we're going to finish off our article of interest. It is Fox TV's moronic coverage of the Premier League. This is written by Ian Penderleaf for when Saturday comes online. wsc.co.uk to read this and many other fine articles. Excuse me. Sunday, the 22nd of January, was billed as a historic day for football in the United States when terrestrial television broadcast live its first ever domestic English match. Arsenal vs Man United. How did Fox, the channel whose political hacks spend their lives shrieking that Bolshevism is the planet's greatest threat, choose to mark this momentous day? They wheeled out Piers Morgan as a pundit, possibly leaving American viewers wondering why they bothered with the Revolutionary War at all. Morgan purports to be an Arsenal fan, and his 26 years as a season ticket holder were duly touted to prove his hardcore fan credentials. He sat on a panel alongside presenter Rob Stone and former US international Eric Winalda, overshadowing their attempts to preview the game with his pompous bluster and what may have been an attempt to pass as banter by making a dig at Tottenham's late defeat at Man City. After that, things went steadily downhill. Morgan pointed out that Arsenal's 4 first-choice fullbacks were all injured, and so Man United would be attacking the flanks with Nani and Antonio Valencia. There was a pertinent, if hardly profound point, except it was delivered in the bleating tone of an 8-year-old schoolboy getting his excuses in first, with the implication that it would only be fair if United played Dimitar Berbatov and Johnny Evans on the wings instead. Arsenal were duly mauled in the wide defensive positions, but almost held out until half-time. Ryan Giggs' cross with Valencia's goal just before the break, though, had the undesired effect of making Morgan almost look like he knew what he was talking about. It also caused him to break loose at the interval and blame everything on Arsene Wenger. He whined that the 1-0 deficit was all Wenger's fault because he'd failed to sign any more fullbacks during the transfer window. And as they say on message boards and the phone-in shows, it was time for the fan to get something off his chest and have a say. Never mind the difficulties of browsing the transfer market in restricted time frames and finding 2 available world-class fullbacks that might have contained United's marauder and wide players. Blame Wenger! This was nothing compared with Morgan's histrionics at the final whistle. Wenger's substitution of Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, he declared, was the worst substitution he'd ever seen. Get that? The teenager went on a run to set up United's winner. Again, Morgan table-thumpingly declared it was all Wenger's fault and loudly proclaimed, "I've had enough of this." Stone and Ronaldo looked at him slightly worried. Would Morgan stab himself in the chest as a gesture of protest? No such luck, unfortunately. Rip up a season ticket live on US television? That might have been difficult given the season tickets at the Emirates are small plastic cards, and a cynic might doubt whether Morgan actually owns one anyway. Make a run for the board? Wealthy, overbearing, clueless about football, with the rescuit blummy accents? He'd be a perfect fit. But no announcement was made. Stop supporting Arsenal and change his allegiance to the New York Giants? That might have been in the Fox script, but at this point the football coverage came to a close. We had to find out what action Piers is prepared to take now he's had it up to here with Arsene Wenger. Of course, no one's fooling themselves. This was anything besides theatre, and that Morgan was briefed beforehand to step up and look like a passionate homer. Float if you win, get mad if you lose, and don't forget to find a hero or a scapegoat depending on the scenario. It's only a shame, though hardly a surprise, that the opportunity was missed to present football to a wider US public in an intelligent and more balanced fashion. Still, it's no coincidence that the soulless new Arsenal Stadium so closely resembles the giant concrete structures built to house American football teams. The Premier League's long-term corporate model has always been the money-bloated NFL. And this step onto US territory is a warm-up for Sunday's afternoon NFL Championship game between San Francisco and the Giants was the logical way forward for both to be seen as partner products rather than rivals fighting over the same turf. In that sense, an arm-waving moron was the perfect front for a sporting nation, unceasingly fed on shameless hyperbole and vicarious drivel. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of American listeners who are going to take issue with that, so we'd like to hear your thoughts. And with that, that's the end of today's daily. Thank you very much for listening. Social media links are all in the descriptions, whether you're on YouTube or iTunes. They're all there. We're on Google+, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube, Club Everton Dailies, the channel. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes to Club Everton Radio, where you can get our dailies and our monthly podcasts. Excuse me. You can also get previous episodes of previous formats of Club Everton Radio there too. Don't forget to nominate the Fallatonians for the Shorty, shortyawards.com. Nominate at Fallatonians. If you mention the Shorty Awards, use the hashtag soccer on Twitter. And finally, Club Everton Daily is brought to you by Hand Stores, the official travel partner of clubeverton.co.uk. Visit handstores.co.uk or give Han a ring on 077 521 21395. That's it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.